Once a man said, hypocrisy की भी सीमा होती, which is maybe quite apt for this situation. When two big South Indian films market themselves as pan-India, but when it comes to the release, they're nowhere to be found. How did that happen? What's going on? Let's talk about it. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince, and May 1st of 2025 was quite a busy weekend with endless number of films releasing, that too in every language. And it makes sense because it ends up being a long weekend. Now there were two high-profile South Indian films releasing, Hit Chapter 3 with Nani and Kartik Subbaraj's Retro with Surya. And I was quite excited for both these films. And as the release day came closer, I was waiting for the shows to come so I can plan out my day, because a lot of films are coming. I need to see which shows I can catch and catch most films in a day. And that wait never ended. Why? Because I couldn't find any shows for these films in the INOX nearby. And it was just a day before that I found out that both these films will not be playing in PVR INOX and other national chains across North India. Why? Because both these films have made a 4-week deal with OTT platforms, which is against the rule of the national chains. So what is the rule? It says that the film should have a window of 8 weeks or more before it streams on an OTT platform. Now this is not the first time this has happened. It's usually the case with Tamil films. It happened with Leo, it happened with Goat, it happened with Vitian. Now remember, these films in North India do play in local theatres, which are not part of the committee of the national chain. So if the films are playing in local theatres, then what's the problem? So let's talk about it. Point number 1, misdirecting audiences. Now when you market these films, you're marketing them as pan-Indian films. Why? Because you're releasing the trailers in every language. You're doing interviews with Hindi media in Hindi. You're talking about the dub quality, that you have spent a lot of work on it. You do all that, and when the time comes for the release, the films are not available in the biggest chains around the country. Then what's the point? You can still watch them in local theaters. So let's come to point number 2, the quality of local theaters. First of all, there are not many left. PVR INOX have the monopoly. Around me, there are 2 INOXes close by and only 1 local theater. And even if there are local theaters, they don't have the best service. The maintenance is poor and the overall experience is not worth it. And let me give you a bit from my personal experience. Rajnikant's Vitian was not playing in INOX, so I had to go to this local theater. It was a 9:30 show, so I went for it. And when I reached there, they had not even opened the theater. It was already 9:30. And I asked them, they said, we have cancelled the show. No one showed up. They told me they need to sell at least 10 tickets for them to run a show. And that has happened with me multiple times. Then there's a question of subtitles. When I call them, they don't pick up. When they do, if I ask them their subtitles or not, they have no idea. And even the location of these theaters are not very friendly. Many times they're very far, they're in a distant location. So saying that it's playing in local theater, go watch there, is not the solution. Point number 3, let's talk about if the rule is unfair. And I disagree. The rule is very fair. If the films come so quickly on OTT, then why would audience go to the theater? It is affecting the theater business. They need to sustain it. They need audience to come and watch the film. So they need to have that leverage, that if you don't come to theater to watch the film, you have to wait for a long time to watch it at your own home. You need to have that to pull the audience to the theater. They need to make a fair rule, and 8 weeks window works, and ideally it should be more longer. But why do movies go for this 4-week window? Here's my theory. OTT platforms want big new releases to come on their platform sooner, so they can market it to everyone that we have the biggest releases, newest releases early, so that they can get more subscribers. That's why they are willing to pay way more if the film comes on their platform within 4 weeks compared to 8 weeks or later. And of course the producers are getting more money, so they are willing to give it away because they are unsure if the film will work pan-India. Will they make a lot of money or not? So it's better to get the guaranteed money they're getting instead of take that risk. But then why these films are being marketed as pan-India? Why they're releasing trailers in every language? And I feel they're doing it to generate interest in their film and then use that to crack a deal with the OTT platforms to get more money, which tells me that they actually don't care if the film reaches to more audiences or not. They're happy to get that money, that 4 weeks window. They'll get a lot of money from the box office also if the film works, and then it will be available on OTT so everyone can watch it. Now let's come to the result of that practice. When you're doing this, you're indicating to the audiences that our film is to be watched on OTT. You don't need to come to theaters to watch it. Within 4 weeks, we'll come on OTT. You watch there. Don't come to theaters. Don't pay money and come to theater to watch our films. They're not intended for that. And soon, when you don't go for that 4-week window, you release your films across India, no one will show up because now they'll be waiting for OTT. Why should I go pay money, waste my time? It will come on OTT. I'll watch then. No hurry. Now in case of Hit 3 and Retro, they are releasing in a very competitive week. There's so many releases in every language. So I can understand it's logical. You'll not get many shows across the country. So better get that deal from OTT. And if that's the case, then stop with the facade of Pan India, that you want to go to more audiences, that you want to give them a theatrical experience. If you're not willing to take the risk to go Pan India, to reach more people in theaters, then you'll never get that reward. Just imagine if SS Rajamouli had taken this deal when he had released Bahubali, and within 4 weeks the film will be on OTT and we'll give you a lot of money for it. Do you think he would have taken it? Of course not. He took that risk, and that's why he's such a great today. You can make the argument that Bahubali is meant for theaters. It is a big film, but these two films are not like that. But here's the counter argument. Hit 3, it's marketed as a very violent film. That's what we see in the trailer. It created the buzz around that. And just last year, another very violent action film from Malayalam cinema, Marco, used that tactic and it went pan-India. And audiences came for it. And no one even knew the lead actor of that film. He was not really popular, unlike Nani, whose last film was Saripoda Sanivaram. It was loved on Netflix. So you could have taken that bet, could have gone for it, would have got 2, 3 or 1 show. At least the film would have been available for people to go and watch. You should have at least tried to do it. Anyways, from your own market, the film would have made the money. I'm already hearing the film is doing really well. Would have gone for the 8-week window, would have got little less money from OTT. But at least you would have tried to reach to more audiences in theaters. Now with Retro, I think maybe because of Kangua and its aftermath, that's the reason they took that OTT deal and let go of the North India theaters. But then the Hindi version of Retro is playing in the local theater near me. But again, it's playing at 9:30 in the morning and the theater is empty. And I know if I go to watch it, they'll cancel the show. And there's just one show of Retro at that timing. We are in a dire situation. The idea that it's audiences who have to go and watch the film, doesn't matter wherever it's playing, it's their job to do so, and not the filmmakers to make it sure that the film reaches to them, is really false. And I hope all of this doesn't happen with Kamal Haasan and Mani Ratnam's Thug Life. And I actually went to the press meet. Check out this video where I almost met Kamal Haasan. What happened? Check it out. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. I would love to hear it, and I will see you next time.